This is the chance for Aliou Cissé to show that he can continue perhaps that good form after taking them to that AFCON victory game.
Yes, exactly. And we went there for the AFCON in Cameroon, where Senegal clinched their first ever cup. And I think that was a moment for them to pass from the favorite to a winning team, and that's why I see Senegal shining in this World Cup. Despite the Sadio Mané's injury, we talked a lot about it those last days, but still they have confidence. I saw them playing in September against Bolivia, and they have more confidence, even if their way of playing, because they have a huge squad as well at the African level, with full of abilities, full of possibilities for Aliou Cissé, even on the bench, for example. But now they have all the confidence to go forward, to move forward. The last World Cup, they stopped at the group stage because of the yellow cards difference with Japan. Imagine. So I think they have all the means to go further, and that's the best chance, in my opinion, for African teams, because the other ones, Cameroon, Tunisia, Ghana, Morocco, they have many changes those last month, whereas coaches or some players for Ghana as well. So Senegal is the most stable team among those African representatives at the World Cup.
And among these 5 teams, of course, this is the first time that we've actually got managers, head coaches, who are from those actual countries, because we've, of course, seen a lot of European managers, etc., come in to manage football, African football teams. This is not the case. Is there a sense of pride amongst these teams?
Yes, and Aliou Cissé talked about it earlier on during his press conference. This is a pride for Africa, because we're used to have European coaches, and this is a clear change of mindsets. And we see that for those teams, they are in the World Cup. So it is possible to have an African-born or African-raised coach and winning trophies or going to the best stages in the world. So this is a clear change of mindset, and we'll see if it will be profitable for African teams. But for Senegal, for example, we'll see it during the AFCON, and the stability is better than instability we saw with Morocco, for example.
And you think so Senegal can make it when they come up against teams like the Netherlands in their group stage?
Yeah, and they will play first against the Netherlands. So we'll see if they can manage to do without Sadio Mané first, because he's the megastar of the team, and Sadio Mané was at the center of Aliou Cissé's gameplay. So now, how to do without him? He has some weapons in the front line, for example, Boulaïdia, Krépin, and other players, but Sadio Mané is the key of that. So that will be a good test, but in my opinion, when you see Qatar and Ecuador, they have all the means to go through. Even if it will be at the second position of the group, they can go further. But can we see Senegal? Could we see Senegal going to the quarterfinals, for example, or maybe to be the first African team to reach the semifinals? We'll see.
Well, another team that once upon a time had an impressive run at the World Cup was Cameroon. Simon, you watched Cameroon, of course, with another impressive run over at the Africa Cup of Nations at the beginning of the year. This time round, though, they're now headed by the legendary Rigobert Song, who's stepping in for the Indomitable Lions. This is his first big test, and of course there's going to be a lot expected from him, but it's essentially he's being thrown in the deep end this way.
Yes, a lot of pressure on the shoulders of Rigoberto Song, and perhaps unfairly so, in a very difficult group for Cameroon with Brazil, Switzerland and Serbia as well. I think it's an achievement in itself, really, that Cameroon made it to the World Cup by beating Algeria with a very, very last-minute goal to qualify. It is going to be a tough competition for the Indomitable Lions, because if you look at their squad, you're just thinking, where are the goals going to come from? Have they really got the strength and depth to try and worry the other teams? Yes, Vincent Aboubakar had a good Africa Cup of Nations, but faded a little bit in the games where he should have shined. And if you look at their two best players, they're two players who are playing in the Serie A, with Andrea Onana in goal for Inter Milan, and Zambo Anguissa for Napoli, who has been absolutely brilliant in midfield. But when you're thinking of where are the goals going to come, 3 draws aren't going to be enough. So it is going to be a tough one, I think, for Cameroon.
One of the squads that we haven't talked about yet, though, is Ghana. Karim, they haven't been in the best of form recently. They're going to come up against Uruguay. That's going to be something, a little flash to the past, isn't it?
Yeah, flashback of the 2010 World Cup in South Africa, where Ghana was out of the competition in the quarterfinals after a penalty missed by Jana Zamoa, if I remember well. But yeah, Ghana is in the midst of of generations we experienced with the I brothers. They are still there, but a little bit old now. But they will lead the team, and you have talented players such as Thomas Partey, for example, who plays in Arsenal, and also Iñaki Williams, one of the new recruitments, I should say, in the Ghana squad. But I have no idea about Ghana because this is a huge question mark. New players, but they passed through thanks to a win against Nigeria. But really, I don't know if they can go further than the first round of group.
Best of luck to them in any case. Well,